Hello, brothers and sisters. My name is Mr. Mzwanda. As usual, that I come to you today in front of your screen because I have a good news to share with you. Always we were. Always I'm just speaking my language, my mother tongue, which is Swahili. But today I have a friend of mine. He will introduce himself later, but we have something special for you. Wherever that from Tanzania, from Ghana, from Rwanda, from anywhere, any part of Africa, we have this message for you, and we love to share this message with you, and then we will leave it with you to work on it. After when you listen and when you hear from us, you don't. We advise you don't keep quiet. Keep on passing the message until when the changes take a place in Africa. Um, what the main topic today? The main topic today, we will talk about the land, our lovely land in Africa. The way our leaders keep on sell the land to the foreigners, for example, Chinese or European people, they come in Africa, buy the land, while the same thing is not going to be acceptable when you go to China. You as African, you cannot buy land in China. You as African, you cannot buy a land. You cannot buy land in United Kingdom, for example. And why is this? So today, I've got my friend here that we're gonna go through, and he will give us a little knowledge about what he know, how what did he understand, and what did he has to open our mind today. Welcome, brother. What is your name?
My name's Kwejo Brenya. I'm from Ghana, and this is my friend. Basically, our brothers, we need to stop selling our land. Our land is so valuable. African land is so valuable. It's the most valuable land on this earth. You know, like my brother said, if you come to the West, if you come here, if you see the size of a house, a 4-bedroom house, it's so small because they do not have land. They do not have access to land as we do in Africa, and their land is not as fertile as our land. It's not enriched with minerals. It's not fertile land as it can grow. In Africa, you put seeds anywhere, it will grow. We have very fertile land. The riches in Africa is abundant. God has blessed us, and I think everybody sees this but us. I don't know whether we've been mentally conditioned not to see this. The same way we've been mentally conditioned not to see the riches in ourselves, in our own people. So we're so quick to commit a crime or talk bad towards our brother, as opposed to helping our brother. The same way we treat our land. In Africa, the China man can come, or the European man can come to Africa and buy land, and he's not going to work the land because some countries, maybe my country, Ghana, we have a law that outsider cannot come and buy land and also work on it without having help of the locals, which the government thinks is an initiative to get foreigners to employ Africans. But also that's an initiative, but who's making the bigger profit? The African's getting paid a wage, and the man is coming to buy the land and getting Africans to work the land and taking the money back out, which is still slavery, because that's what happened in slavery. They took our people, took them to a foreign country, we picked cotton for them, and they gave us food or whatever we needed just to survive, and they made the bigger profits, put it on the world market. So this is if this is our leaders thinking and thinking that this is a way of enriching the people are richer than land, it's not. It's not, and that needs to stop.
So, all right, just when you put in the little stop there, do you want to tell me this is the modern slave that they've just created
Definitely.
to African people?
It's a definite modern mental slavery. It's not physical mental, because slavery back in the day, when it was physical, you physically were forced. So you physically had no freedom, physically. I couldn't physically go toilet when I want to. You can't physically go work when you want to. You can't physically go and do physically. Now we can physically, You can physically go to work. You can physically go to toilet. You can physically do it when you want to. But mentally, you know, can you mentally do what you want to do? Can you mentally start a business when you want to? Can you mentally, you know, provide for your family how you want to? Can you mentally? So now it's a mental thing. So it comes to the mental thing, whereas in our people, we're free to move around, but we're mentally not free to progress how we need to progress with our own thing, with our own land. You know, with our own land, with our own resources, because it's being controlled by somebody else. You know, mentally. You know what I'm saying? Not physically, because our leaders are the one that are installing these laws, thinking that it's benefiting the people. You know, Africa should be at a stage on the world market right now. Africa should be the head of the world market. We should be a market that every nation comes to us like once we were. Every nation, because what don't we have? Timber. What don't we have in Africa? So why do we still buy? Why do we still import? Why does any African country import? That's what I want to ask any African president. Why does any African country import? We should just be exporting. And people should be coming to Africa, other nations, and seeing what we have for them to export. But for once we're importing, that means we're spending money that we don't even have. Apparently money we don't even have. But we're buying rice, we're buying tuna, we're buying canned food. You know?
And all of those we can get it in Africa.
All of those we can get. We have metal to make the canned food. We have the food to can it. That's why the white man sees us as foolish. Whether he's not allowing us to do it or we're not doing it. That's what makes us seem foolish and below everything else that is doing it. You know, the Chinaman will not respect you if you cannot do it.
So what you want to say, because at the moment we see a lot of Chinese come in Africa, and they come with that words, they say that they want to invest. If there's any secret behind the investment in Africa?
There's I don't think anybody's really coming to invest. They're still coming to find a way to steal. You know, because when you invest in something, the thing sees profit. If I invested in a business, the business will have money to do the thing. When you go to a bank, you go to a bank with your idea.
Yes.
Yeah? And the bank is the investor. And the bank gives you the money to do what?
To do the work.
To do the idea. Okay. So when I come to your country with money and I leave with resource, where's the investment in your country?
That's stealing.
But even if not stealing, that's buying. That's buying or stealing. It's not investing. Investing is coming saying, okay, Zimbabweans or Ghanaians, you have gold. We'll give you 3 trillion to refine the gold or to refine the oil, then to bring on the world market. That's what bank does. Bank gives you money, invest in your business, your money, you make money, the bank takes out a small percentage. Bank does not take 100% profit.
No. They take.
So
like
whenever we Africans, someone says investment, please look up the dictionary and look up the meaning of investment before you say somebody's an investor in your country. Yeah? Because that's not investment. If they've been investing in African countries since when? Which African country have bought something to the world market? And it's an African, it belongs to an African. It belongs to Ghana. Ghana can say we have yam on the world market and the money's come to Ghanaians because a Western investor investing in us. Come on. Come on.
Right. So, for example, now we have the country like Congo.
Congo, one of the richest countries in Africa, one of the richest countries in the world, my friend.
Exactly, and we see all these things going on, and
it's to cover the people's eyes. All these things going on, all these wars, all these conflicts. You know, like I'm saying, if you're in your house and your house is nice and tidy, and I want to stop your house from being nice and tidy, I have to come in your house and create havoc. You will never have time to clean your house. You always be trying to sort out the people creating problems in your house, while I bring others in the background to steal.
What you want to tell Congolese people themselves? What are you
I
going
want to tell Congolese people, you know, to not trust nobody. You know, don't trust nobody. Trust in Congo. Trust in Congo. Yeah, you have everything in Congo. You need nothing from nobody. You know, it's time for you lot to start loving your land and loving your people. Love. God is love. You know, you cannot build nothing of war. You cannot build nothing of hate. You cannot build nothing of guns. You know, since they brought guns to Africa, since they created guns, you know, how much things have been built? You know, from the First World War, Second World War, we build things, then we destroy them. We build things, destroy them, build things, destroy them. This is a cycle that's happening in human life. And in Africa, it's just being destroyed because everyone's just stealing. You know, nobody cares.
And there is this mentality, the mentality from the group of people to other group of people, especially the other group of people to African people, saying that the African is there's some countries say this country is poor or whatever. There's anything like poor thing exists in Africa? There's any country in Africa?
No country in Africa is poor. You know, we've been divided and conquered. When you're divided and conquered, you always have something to say about your brother, your other tribe. Even happens in Ghana. So many tribes, so many different conflicts. You know, no African is poor. You know, no African should be poor. Sorry. No African should be poor. You know, especially in a country where you can climb a coconut tree and get a coconut for free. You can grow orange in your back garden. How? Analyze yourself, Africans. What is poor to you? Is poor not having a meal a day? Not having Nike trainers? Not having a car? Not having a house? What is poor to you? Once you've analyzed that, know that Africa, every day you should get a meal to eat. My brother, every day. If you don't have it, your next door neighbor, look, I just came back from Ghana 2 years. Yeah? I used to walk around and see coconuts growing, oranges growing, things growing. People didn't even want it. They want the canned Western food. They want the Chinese rice. Your mentality is poor. For you to say Africa is poor, your mentality is poor. Africa is not poor. Where? What's poor? What's poor? Is the land poor? You know? Is the minerals poor? Is under the land poor? Is the people poor? Are black people poor? The power that we have, are we poor? Come on. They took Americans as slaves, yeah? And now people look up to Americans. Someone who was beaten down 400 years, couldn't read. Now we've got architects. We've got... What is poor to you?
Right. First of all, I would like to thank you to have your time today, and I believe we'll be keep on coming here and tell people whatever that.
I want to come back. I want to come back. This is a beautiful show my brother's doing. Please support it. Support it, Africans. Yeah, if you want him to get more people to come and talk about blackness, come talk about Africa, the motherland. You know, when I say talk about blackness, it's not a racial thing. You know, we love all races. But when all races don't love us, well, what can we do? We have to stick together first. You know, as I know, I've got many friends who've got white girlfriends, white wives, Chinese wives. We're not a racist people. No, we have no problem with nobody. But when they have problems with us, what can we do? You know? So let's start loving ourselves. Yeah, start loving ourselves, loving this black skin color, this nappy hair that God blessed us with. You know? Start loving it. You know, if a white man loves himself to say that he's Jesus, he's God. Love yourself too. Love yourself, love Africa, love the village that you're in. No? It's nothing here in the West. You know, me and my brother, we're here in the West and we're talking about Africa. We're talking about the motherland. because we love it. Yeah, we're coming back. That's where we are. That's where our family are. Yeah. So you know, there's nothing. You're all right in your village. You're all right. Just make that village beautiful. Make that village beautiful. So I want to come back there. You know. So my Jamaican brothers want to come back there. So my American brothers want to come back there. You know, and spend money. Tourism. Africa should be, the whole world should want to come to Africa. Tourism. So many years they've messed up our tourist industry. When you come to the West and you look at anything in Africa, it will be an Oxfam advert. It will be either wildlife, something that, you know, people is they don't want to come there, or you know what I'm saying? Africa, I would say, like, African tourists is not as it should be, you know, because here they've got safari parks with wildlife from Africa, you know. But then why don't people go to Africa and see that wildlife?
And the word safari itself, the Swahili word.
Yeah.
So they've tried to steal that Swahili word, like to be their word,
Yeah.
safari park. Safari Park, and where the Swahili was born, it was born in Tanzania.
Yeah.
And now it's played Kenya. They speak Swahili. Some part of Congo speaks Swahili.
Really, yeah.
Rwanda, Burundi, they speak Swahili as
Yeah.
well. And the word Safari Park just come from that way, flowed. And now they just want to steal that word as well, to be recognized for them to be as their word. But I don't think if that is,
my brother,
it's gonna work.
When we don't love our stuff, somebody else will take it. That's what happens to the world. You know, there's that old saying, one man's waste is another man's treasure. Africa, we act like it's waste, so they're going to take it. Music, it's ours. Dance, it's ours. It's so popular in this world, but it's over the natural person's head that it's ours. When we first came and the slaves were doing it, they used to call it, juju, jungle music, jungle movement. Now everybody's twerking. Everybody's moonwalking. You know, we have to love. That's why I said love ourselves. Let's love this blackness. Yeah, and love Africa. Love the patterns, love the animals, love everything about it. Once we love that, then we realize what it is. They make iPads from minerals from Congo. The West, they all love iPads. But why does, in Africa, if you love that mineral in Congo, wouldn't it be hard for them to take it?
You should protect it.
If when they first came, if we loved it, you know, it'll be hard for them to take it. You know, because you're willing to die for something you love. You know? No.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, this is a lovely show today, and I promise you that it will be coming more and more as soon as we want you to understand, and we want you to learn more about how beauty to be African. How beauty that you don't know the value of you.
Ooh.
You don't know the value of your land. I wish if you could know, and I think we're here as well to support you, at least to open your mind, because sometimes some of us we are so blinded. We teach our kids the Western modern way,
the Western traditions more than our own traditions.
Exactly, which is not really acceptable, which is not really nice, because the more we were doing that, the more we put our generation into the dark.
Into the dark.
And it will reach the time, you know, they will find nowhere, you know, they weren't gonna be nowhere. They'll be rejected here, and they weren't gonna be accepted there.
Yeah, and
that's gonna be a big problem.
It's happening. Look, my brothers, I talk to a lot of Jamaicans and a lot of African Americans, and you'd be so surprised that they don't recognize the African in them. You know, in 2018, they don't recognize the African in them. But it's so sad. Me and you can watch Roots, we could watch Amistad, and know that this is where they came from. But that shows you how generations and knowledge, if it's not passed down right, it gets lost. You know, so when a black person looks at you and tells you, I'm English, tells you I'm American, tells you I'm German, I'm Spanish, I'm Italian. That's it.
You completely take yourself out from where you belong.
If they told you I know Spanish, I know English, I know, that's okay. That means you're a well-learned African.
There is another example. A few weeks ago, there's this politician man, goes by name Miguna Miguna. He's from Kenya.
Yeah.
And he was deported from Kenya, originally from Kenya, but he was deported from Kenya to Canada because he denied to be Kenyan and he accepted the Canadian citizenship.
Yeah.
So when things come to worse in Kenya, and Kenya they say no, we don't need you here.
Yeah.
So then he forced to go back himself, Kenya. He just forced to go himself, Kenya again. He just ended up to be in the airport. He didn't even step out from the airport.
Kenya.
So they say we don't want you.
So Kenyans don't want him, Canadians don't want him.
Exactly. Now Canadians accept him.
Yeah.
But what's going to come in the future?
Yeah.
The future of this man now, it's like hanging on there, because the children's now, they don't know where they're going to be next.
They're going to be. And
So-
the children are going to live under false pretense as Canadians. That's what they'll do. Because, see, this is this very sour. Because I can understand the Kenyans. Be Kenyan. You know, you've gone to Canada, they don't want to be Kenyan. Now you've got into a situation in Canada and you've ended up being deported back. So Canada's been like, okay, your true identity is not Canadian. You've only acquired citizenship. But you've done something to break the laws or the conditions of that citizenship. So now we have to send you back to your true country of origin. You have denounced that country. You know? That should prove to you that Canada can never accept you. You're not Canadian. Citizenship is citizenship. Let's understand this. Citizenship and what you are. You know, we've even got people born in Canada or America and your parents are, my friend, you're African.
No matter what.
You're African. I'm talking about the blood that runs through you. I'm not going to talk about where you were born, what you want to be. Don't bring aspirations in line with truth, because that's where you will find it when the European, your aspirations to be a Canadian, he tells you, no, you're an African. Okay, so yeah, be an African. I'm not saying if you like Canada, go learn about Canada. If you like America, go learn about Canada. Go learn about America and have something to take back to Africa. Yeah, have something to go because we're learning creatures. We have to learn. You know, you have to learn. If you like that, go learn about that. But never ever disrespect where you come from, and never ever know that, you know, my friend, this is we learn knowledge. You know, as children, we go outside, we learn, and you always bring it back. Yeah, bring it back home, because it's for home. You know, you try to build up your home. If you know, so many of our Africans acquire knowledge, they go abroad. Very fantastic people. They go to Oxford, all these big universities, Harvard, and then they stay. They stay in America. They stay, oh, and he's a lawyer in America, or he's a scientist in America. My friend, that's good for you. You followed money. Yeah, that's good for you, but it's not benefiting your country or your people. It's not going to benefit your generations down the line. And that's why we're still where we are. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to try to be a westernized now. Now, because you've got the money, you've got the wife, maybe you've got a white wife, now, okay, you've forgotten about Africa. But somewhere down the line, your children will experience that they're not that. You know, because they will experience this thing they call racism, this thing that they, you know, that I don't know why it's there. You know, because when I was in Ghana, you know what really shocked me? I hadn't been in Ghana for 23 years. And I went in Ghana, I stayed there for 2 years. It shocked me how our black people had so much respect for foreigners, but didn't even have the same respect for their own people in Ghana. That shocked me. And that showed me that, you know, our people, we're very loving people. But it's not the same over here. You know, they're not. And I can't tell you why, but I'm just saying, don't forget your roots. Yeah? Come learn something here. You know, be great over here. But it's for back home. You know, your grandma's back home. You know what I'm saying? Your auntie, great aunties, they're back home. You know what I'm saying? They need jobs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you became a lawyer. Okay, come on. Go open a law firm back home. You know what I'm saying? Be here, open a law firm back home. Open a factory back home. You know, let's create some jobs. Let's do something. We're here, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing people here and they're not doing nothing. You know, they're here, some people are coming here, you know, they've come down, they're not becoming drunkards or, you know what I'm saying, just what the system want them to be here. Or, you know what I'm saying, they're just happy on their 9 to 5. Or you're not doing a lot. Come on. You know what I'm saying? We're going through, our people are suffering. Back home, people are suffering. People who shouldn't be suffering are suffering. That's what it is. They shouldn't be suffering. But they're suffering. You know?
Right. So for what you want to tell them, because now some of the people or some of the country already sold. I remember the issue about Mugabe when he stopped those, to have a farming in that country. But there's a people still until today. They're still selling their farm, their lands, especially the people who work on the government. Some of them, and they sell those land to the foreigners, and especially not the foreigner from other fellow African, but other countries, other continents. Right.
You know what I want to tell them is, look, Africans, please, let's stop. Let's be entrepreneurs. In this country, an entrepreneur is somebody who has something little, but he can make something of it. Yeah, make something great of it and create jobs. So if you're that man who has the farm, you know, why would you sell it? If you can sell it, that means you're comfortable yourself. If you're comfortable yourself, my brother, please, hire some villages. Yeah, create some work. My brother, please. Yeah, be aspirational. Start canning some of your food. Sell it in Africa. You know, those people, it's being imported. So you can it for them. Research on the internet. Now we've got internet. You know, research how to buy these machinery. Bring it to Africa. Can your own food, my brother. You know, and start selling it in African market. Sooner or later, the Western markets will come. You know, sooner or later. But because you're not canning it, that's why they haven't come. Because you're not refining the oil, that's why they haven't come. And when they come, they just come with that bullshit investment to take it out and come and sell it back to you. No, my brother, let's make it there. Don't sell your house, don't sell nothing. Rent out your house to an African. It's money. You know what I'm saying? Don't sell your land, build. If you don't want to be a farmer, build. Build a hotel. You know, build a school. Let's build Africa. You know, and don't build how these people build. Build how African, it's a hot temperature. You know, let's start building. Let's start our scientists. You know, what type of material should we be using to build in Africa? You know, because the Chinese don't build how the Europeans build.
And there's this a little story just happening a few weeks ago, and this happened in Tanzania. There's this old man. The one was discovered the Tanzanite mineral. Yeah. There's a mineral called goes by name the Tanzanite. I don't know if you heard about that, but they're very popular. Yeah. And the explorer of that mineral, he was just in the village until we have this president now. He come to recognize him, and then he rewarded him and gave him at least 100 million. Yeah. And also he wanted the people now to start to write our own history from our own people. Why did they write the story about the Carl Peters and other people, and they forget to write the history of our own people? So this president of Tanzania, he recognized him, and he say he's supposed to be budgeted, he's supposed to be rewarded because of this job that he did. If it was anyone else from somewhere else, we could just praise that person, and we can even write on our book to praise other people. But our people, we don't want to do that. What you want to say of this president, of the action of giving him a reward?
The president has done good. That's what we should be doing. We should be rewarding our people more. We should be exploring Africa more. Africa, I think, is the most, it's the newest country. I'll say this, my brothers, because the West, when they came, they've warred and they've dug all the ground and they've researched to see what was there, and they basically found nothing. All their scientists have, they made up really a European country. America has minerals, as we all know, but let's say Africa is very fresh because at the time when they came, the Westerners first came, we had the knowledge of our people before. So from Timbuktu to the Egyptians to the Nubians, we had a civilization. We had foundation. We had everything. Yeah, communities. We had it structured in our own way, our own history. To that point, these people came, and we know what happened in Africa, whether it was certain countries were colonized. But anyway, the rush is to split Africa. And that's what they did. Certain countries, they split Africa through war, through all this. And they took the people through slavery, and slave trade made a lot of money, but it lasted for so many years. So to that point, they took a people. They took the people. So, because in even those times, they didn't have a lot of things they have now to, like, when you want to research the ground and stuff like that. So they took the people. That time, that was the richest thing. And slave trade was. So when they're doing slave trade, they weren't doing oil trade. They weren't doing gold trade. They were just doing slave trade. 400 years. Keeping in mind that slave trade is even adapted to now because they made so much money off it, and it's gone into like certain banking systems and certain systems. So the land has not been, it's just been exploited now. Because in the 20th century, 21st century, that's when you can say African land has really started being exploited. When certain countries got independence and certain Western countries started going in, Shell, the bar diamonds in South Africa, and all these countries, that's the 60s, 70s. So that's why I'm saying that the land is still fresh. But it's from them. It's from them because it's their scientists going in and telling us that, okay, this country's got oil, this country's got da-da-da-da. Now we need to start doing it ourselves and stop them doing it. Okay, we've seen what you do, please stop, we don't want it. Because whenever you do it, it leads to war, it leads to something negative. Because of the money. Stop, we handle it ourselves. Please, just stop. You know what I'm saying? Wherever it is, the tools to do it, we'll buy it. If it's money, we'll buy it off you. It's simple. That's what Africans need to do. Because it's at that point where a lot of money is becoming out of Africa. And it's fresh because it's not developed. You see the Western world, they think they're far ahead. You cannot develop something that's already developed. Yeah? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm a builder. So I know that once we build a building, there's nothing more we can do to it but keep, maintaining it. Maintenance. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one day, that's the West. Africa's fresh. Africa's fresh.
Thank you very, very much. And, as I want to...
I want to say to my Africans, please... When we have to start looking back into our history, like my brother said, start writing our own history and looking back to where our history comes from. And please, when we do this, let's not take all these spiritual things, because religion has been a factor in our mental breakdown. If you say it has not been, you're a liar. Religion has been one of the biggest factors in the African man's mental breakdown. Like we never had religion before they came. My friends, brothers, religion came from us. Don't let them dictate to you who God is and what God is. So when you start researching back, me, when I go to Africa, I'm very spiritual. I'm not spiritual as in the church or the mosque. I'm spiritual with my old school herbal medicine. I don't disrespect that. The old school medicines, I don't disrespect that. My friend, this is what these people have turned into Freemasonry and all these sacrifices. It's all ours. All of it is ours. Whether you want to call it religion, wherever, those concepts came from ours. And now they've used it against us to manipulate us. True power comes from within. It comes from within. You know, hope. That's what they're selling you, hope.
Right. Well, we have so many things to share with you, but for today, I would love to allow my brother to have a break. And next time, what are we going to come to talk about next time? There's many things we have on the queue, but next time I want you to be here, and at least you're going to have a knowledge. What are we going to talk about next time? Next time we'll talk about the money, where the money coming from, who created the money, and why the money has been created. This is what I want you to understand. We have very good thing here to share with you all over the world. It doesn't matter which color. This one, it doesn't matter which color, whether you're from Asia, African, or Europe. We want to educate you the money, the meaning of money, why the money are there, why the money have been created, why the money are created not anywhere else but the particular places. Have you ever heard any part of Africa create their own money or have their printed their own money? No, you have never heard that. You want to know why? I think next time, when we join together next time, you will be able to hear all this story, and it will be up to you to decide. Either you'll be a good ambassador to spread the news among African and anyone in the world. This will be your job. Thank you very much, and I want to wish you a good weekend, and also maybe let me ask my friend if he had any last thing that he want to say to you.
Just say peace be with you, all brothers and sisters. You know, let's keep our head up. Allah is great. You know, we've got one life to live. You know, let's make the most of it. You know, if you feel frustrated, feel you can't do much, do for the next generation. You know, if your life ain't amounting to nothing and you feel hopeless, just do for the next generation. Because don't make them feel hopeless. You know, because then we're never gonna come out of this. Yeah, peace and love.
Thank you very much. See you next time.